what's up everyone? This is Mark Miller at Sound Theory Studio. Hope you're doing well. And I just wanted to do a short lesson today, kind of inspired by one of my students. He told me that I had some advice about changing chords that really helped him, so I just wanted to share it with everyone. So basically, the first thing that most people learn when they learn guitar is their open chords. And in case you don't know what that is, open chords are chords where you utilize open strings to help you play the chords. So here's a C major, for example. So I'm playing. So I'm holding down some of the notes, but some of the notes I'm utilizing open strings, in this case strings 1 and 3, to help make the chord. So there's a series of chords like that. So the reason why I think people learn these chords first is because since it is utilizing some of the open strings to help you play the chord, they're a lot easier than other chords like bar chords where you're actually holding down all 6 strings at the same time. So if you're not familiar with the open chords and you'd like to learn them, I'll put a link in the description to this video. It'll take you to my website where you can download for free a diagram that shows you all the open chords and the fingerings and the patterns and how to hold them down. But what I want to talk about today would be step 2, which I think is where a lot of people are stuck, where you've memorized your open chords, you know how to play them, but you're having trouble switching between them fast enough. So I wanted to give you some advice on that. So basically what we're going to do is a lot of people, when they learn these, and there's nothing wrong with it, if you're doing it, it's fine. But let's say for the C major, for example, they'll put down, one finger first, and then another finger, and then finally the third one, and then play it. Well, nothing wrong with that, other than it takes a long time. And so when you go to play a song, especially if it's a song where the chords change quickly, it's going to be difficult to keep up. So what I would like for people to do instead of one finger at a time like that is to bring down all the fingers at the exact same time. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to zoom in on my left hand and give you a really clear look at it, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so now that we're zoomed in, again, this is the way a lot of people learn their chords when they're first starting. So one finger down, then another, and it might be the other direction. They might put this finger down first, then this one, then this one. Nothing wrong with that. By all means, do that when you're first learning how to play these chords. But eventually, to have enough speed to change chords quickly, you've got to bring them down at the same time. So what you're going to do is I want you to put your hand out kind of like this, just away from the fretboard, and think to yourself, if you're going to practice C major, what is the C major shape, what fingers do you use, and where do they go? And get that in your mind first and foremost. Once you think you have it, what I want you to do is bring your fingers down slowly like this and start making the shape as you go. So you can see my ring finger, middle finger, and index finger are already starting to make the shape. Then the goal is once you get to the fretboard, you can touch them all at the same time, and there's your C major chord. Okay, again, fingers off, C major chord. Kind of make a game out of it, like just force yourself to only bring them down at the same time and make sure they all touch at the same time. It's going to take some practice for sure. But eventually, I think you'll be able to do this. You'll be able to go much faster, and your fingers will just naturally go to that shape over and over and over. Okay, so now let's do a different chord. So let's look at the D major chord. So again, fingers are out. Bring them in, make that shape. There it is, D major, over and over and over. And I'm a really big fan of people not only practicing guitar in a focused, concentrated way whenever they have a chance, but also practicing guitar during times where they would otherwise be busy. You have to be creative with your practice because all of us are really busy in our lives. And if you can find creative ways to practice while you're otherwise doing something else, that's much more practice time you'll get in total, and that'll really help you. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a family movie night. Thursday night, you and the kids watch a movie. All right? So what you can do is have your guitar with you, not plugged in, not making any sound. Don't even strum the chords with your right hand. Just do this exercise over and over and over. And just look down every now and then and make sure you're doing it correctly. But otherwise, you can just do this motion over and over. And if you think about it, if it's a 2-hour movie, you can sit there and do this the whole time, completely enjoy the movie, talk to people, no problem, and get in a full 2 hours of chord practice, just like that. Okay? Now the next step would be, let's say you've got a couple of these done. So you've got C, you can do that. You've got D, you can do that one. Go back and forth between them, C to D, C to D, over and over, and make sure your fingers are always coming down at the exact same time. It's going to take a while, but seriously, if you give this some concentrated time, a few hours here and there, after a couple of weeks, you should see massive improvement. So your goal is going to be able to do that with all the open chords, every single one. So there's an E major, there's an E minor, there's an A minor, there's an A major. Be able to do it that easily with every chord, and then start choosing maybe 3 random chords. You can even use like an online random list generator, or you can just make some flashcards that have each open chord written on them and then just pick 3 randomly. So let's say it comes up with, I don't know, C, D, and A, all major. So that's what you'll do. You'll practice C, D, A, C, D, A, over and over and over. And then do different combinations, A, C, D, A, C, D, until you have it completely mastered. Then when you go to play songs, this should be a lot easier. And what you can do then, of course, this was all without me playing anything. This was all left-hand work. Eventually what you'll want to do is start challenging yourself to do this and strum each chord once. Because right now we're going for speed. Once you have the chord down, you're done, right? If you're just strumming, well, that's not too hard to do. The real work in making the chord itself is just bringing the fingers down. So just strum it one time each. And challenge yourself to go faster and faster and faster. And one thing you could even do is put on a metronome, set it to, 80 beats a minute to start. And every 4 beats, switch chords. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then challenge yourself to go faster and faster on the metronome. Eventually set it to 100 beats per minute and play quarter notes, which would be every beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, and get it faster and faster. And if you, like I said, if you do this for a couple of weeks, a month at the most, when you go to play a song that's built with open chords, it's going to seem so easy, because very few songs actually play chords that quick. So if you train yourself that way, most songs are just going to feel super easy to do at that point. All right, so I hope that's helpful, and I hope that gets you to where you want to be with your chord playing. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I always try to respond to every comment if I can. Also, if you would like to learn more about music theory, because a lot of people who are just starting usually know very little or nothing about music theory, and it's very important to know. Check out my website. It's www.soundtheorystudio.com. On my website, I wrote a book a few years ago called Guitar Theory. And it's an intro to music theory, and it assumes that you don't know anything at all. And it takes you in gradual steps from the very beginning all the way to some more advanced concepts. And you can download it as an ebook and start reading it within minutes after making the purchase. And I think you'll really enjoy it. And also, I'm a guitar teacher here in Tucson, Arizona. I teach worldwide through Skype lessons. So if you would like to take online lessons through Skype, you can contact me through my website for that as well. And if you live in the Tucson, Arizona area, you can take lessons here at the studio in person, and you can also apply for that through the website as well. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it, and see you next time. Take care.